Welcome back to another video, guys. This is Synergy here, and today we're going to be showcasing Bulwark Juggernaut. I know you guys have actually been looking forward to this particular video. I haven't really had enough time to actually fully complete it as the attributes are missing, but I was able to work around getting it to what I feel would be suitable for those who actually really need a solid Juggernaut build for heroics to help out friends and legendary and so forth. So before we actually get started, two important things. This is for the OS protocol. So I was able to get level-headed to max. I only got one piece of blitz because I've been very unlucky lately. RNG hasn't actually been by my side. But the difference between two of them is night and day. So level-headed, if you take the damage, you only get 30% chance of actually getting the incoming healing back, which is 72%. Whereas with blitz actually sustains, or at least keeps the shielding of received healing as well as your max health. So the difference between both of them is actually night and day. It's your choice on whichever you want to run and whatever you have available, but both of them actually help out to a degree. When it comes to the gear, I'm running 4-piece shield and 2-piece mechanical, and the reason why is because even though the attributes are random and even though the talents are random, I actually am able to do proper amount of damage, because what's important about Juggernaut is that you actually want to be able to have firepower pieces, gear pieces, firepower weapons if you want survivability, the toughness, as well as doing damage. I know it's hard to be able to obtain both. I'm sure that there's other Juggernaut mains that are able to do this stuff, but you want pieces that actually have firepower. The DPS doesn't really matter too much. I mean, I'm sure that there's other people that have ran 4-piece Fury with maybe 2-piece Fearless or whatever the case may be, and that's actually very helpful. But again, you want toughness. The tactical augmentations are also optional as well too. If you have them in your possession, please equip those things too. I ran the same pieces for, how I would do with my Breacher build, because of the critical hit chance and damage, and some with max health. But if you could be able to find pieces of Provocateur, or maybe even Last Moment with max health and a mix between critical hit chance and critical hit damage, that would be very useful. But again, the RNG drops haven't been, on my good side, so to speak, or at least I haven't been on the good side of RNG as well too. Also, before I forget, firepower pieces for the weapons as well too, because yeah, you want firepower weapons, but you also want firepower pieces as well too. You can mix them in with toughness, that actually would be very helpful too, and if you have tack augments for that too. So for my SMG, P90, Unhinged, and Performer, and then for my rifle would be Bloodlust and Slaughter Fortress 2. Again, you don't necessarily have to run a rifle. I just love running rifles because the M1 is a very strong rifle and it comes in handy. But SMGs and shotguns, or SMG and ARs with a bit of toughness or firepower, would be very useful to you. Also, again, before I forget, because this is very important, firepower gear mods. Make sure you guys actually grind for those. I have firepower gear mods gold on all of pieces of armor to get that extra firepower and so forth. I'm sure that I can be able to get better if I had all firepower pieces for each of my gear, but for now this is actually very useful. But I just wanted to be able to showcase to you before I forget, because I know some people come at me a bit crazy when it comes down to not showing the talents and some of the more important things in this particular video. As I stated before, my attributes are not all there. It's not necessarily maxed out, but again, it gets the job done. I'm able to do heroic and legendary, as you can see, and do a very good job. That's it for this particular video. I hope that the presentation was actually helpful. Again, I just want to say, for the record, thank you and shout out to all of you guys that have been supporting my videos. There are a couple of things I actually did want to talk about, and I feel that they're very important enough to say. So recently, I've explained in my previous videos of the issues ongoing with the Division Resurgence, and you know, I'm not one to complain, but you know, it left me a sour taste, especially with my recent predicament, and even more so with, you know, a lot of the other attack arguments and so forth that are missing. And I just think it's very discouraging, you know, knowing that I'm the type of person that I grind the game legitimately. I'm not saying that anybody else doesn't, but I only hope that it actually does change in the future. Um, I also will say as well too that I have some Racing Master videos that I'm actually going to be promoting, and I only hope that you actually support it because I love Racing Master. I'm a content creator partner over there, and you know, it's another game to actually play, so I don't have to really get burnt out or possibly not play this game anymore. But what I will say is, because I have a lot of people that have come to me for advice and so forth, and this is something I would really say for the record, not to completely randomize it subject matter wise, but I can't stand people who, because I've been seeing this in Discord, I've been seeing this in comment sections as well too. Look, we we all get strong, and we all have a little air, you know, in our head sometimes, a little bit of ego when it comes down to our builds and so forth. But putting people down and not giving constructive advice, not criticism, towards helping people with their build, like it's really disgusting. It's disgusting behavior, and then it comes off as an elitist too. You know, I can't stand people who, you know, sit there and they talk about how bad somebody's build is. I mean, if their fucking build is bad, then why don't you fucking help them? Isn't that really what the community is about? Isn't that why we make videos, is to be able to aid those who don't know? Because not everybody knows how to make a build, even though the presentation is kind of self-explanatory. You know, they do have a very comprehensive way to showcase how to build your character, but not everybody has the knowledge on, you know, building a character correctly. There's some people that have messed up and made different characters, and I just can't stand people who sit there and just talk so badly or so down to people that are not aware of these things. Like, if you're supposed to be somebody who's strong in the leaderboards or whatever, then, you know, try to help them. You know, it doesn't make any fucking sense for you to just sit there. That's like the exact opposite of being a part of the community, is to literally sit there and try to tell somebody that they're fucking bad and that the build is shit, but you're not even trying to help them. You know, I always try to make the most informative content, and even if I don't make it, you know, as appealing to the public as I'm supposed to, I would ask others in the comment section for their feedback, because I think that that's what the community is about. The community is about helping one another and not being so egotistical and being all, you know, in your head. Sometimes I feel like people are in their own mental hollow chamber, and they're their own best friend, worst enemy, and biggest fan all in one. And I think that you know, that's a little crazy, and maybe psychologically, you know, might want to stay away from that motherfucker. But anyways, my point is that don't be that way. And if you have any advice on, you know, other people's builds, especially within this video, I welcome anybody who has a Juggernaut, or, you know, is a Juggernaut main that has better advice on building a Juggernaut, to be able to help out the rest of the community. I would really appreciate that. But again, you know, I only hope that you guys actually support the Racing Master videos, and I thank you guys all again for all your support. And this is Synergy signing off. Peace out. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.